Where shall we go today? Where shall we go? Where do you want to go today? Let's walk round Middlewich! Why would a cat need an orthodontist? The white bear pub is quite old. You can tell with the doors, they're not even square. And, click on there, you can see that the windows have actually been replaced with square windows when plastic was invented. The church at Middlewich is in the middle of Middlewich, so it's Middlewich Church. I dare say there are churches that are not in the middle of Middlewich, but this one is in the middle of Middlewich. Yeah. It's got a lot of doors on it. It's even got two on this side, and this is its back side. Misses. You might think they don't do a lot of DIY in Middlewich because the Middlewich DIY shop is tiny, but no, it's got a huge extension. You know, we like a big extension. Middlewich has got a post office as well, although sadly it looks like it's closed permanently. Middlewich Town Hall, glorious building, and they put netting up to stop the birds getting in. That went well. The houses in Middlewich are actually quite old, or at least they pretend to be. I think they're fake, I'll be honest with you. However, these seem genuine enough. These ones look like they are really, really old. So I like that. I like old buildings that are actually old, not pretending to be old. A really old doll's house. That's cute. Literally a sign of the times. It is strange how we're in a bit of a time warp. It's now April, but there's still Christmas decorations up, like those stickers in that window there, and things like that. It's a bit bonkers. It's like the whole world stopped. It's a bit like, what's that place where Chernobyl was? Pricek. It's a bit like that. It's just like time stopped at Christmas. Car parks. Well, I've only found one so far, but it is huge. It's massive. We're on the other side of the church, and that's another door. How many doors do you need in a church? Water's Edge Medical Centre, it says. But more impressively, there's a bus shelter with a mural in it. Look at that. That's amazing. It's almost advertising there's a canal around here, but I don't think there is. Not gobbing distance from the Waterside Medical Centre is a bit of a rundown building, and there is a canal. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful canal. Although I don't know how you're supposed to get under the bridge, I'll be honest with you. Unless you're in a boat. Oh, there's a footpath. Okay then. So there's a footpath, and look at all these boats here. And locks as well. Up there. This is very pretty. Even the bench is in the shape of a narrow boat. That's nice. This sculpture represents something. And what that is where to leave your litter. But at least it's tidy. There are a lot of these narrow boat things. The boats that are quite narrow, which is why they're called narrow boats, and they're all the same colour. And I'm like thinking, I bet they're part of the same family. I bet they're all related. I bet they're all like brother and sister and stuff like that. They've all got names on, but they've all got a spelling mistake on them. Can you see what it is yet? Hey, can you see what it is? Not one to criticise, but I think it's a spelling mistake there. And there. Can you see what it is yet? Yeah, they've all got the word Ford in them, but it's spelt wrong. I'm dyslexic and I know Ford doesn't have a J in it. Anderson Boats of Middlewich. Sort it out. I'd want to hire one of these, I'll be honest. The canal even has some rapids just before the lock, so I assume this is the water coming round the lock, because I'm an engineer, you know. So this is one of the locks. It's a very narrow lock. The ones in Wigan are a lot wider. And, as predicted, this is the water running round the lock, which we saw pumping back into the canal before. This is a man turning something. So that the water comes out. That's a lady doing it as well. And if you look carefully, you'll see that the boat is sinking. Could run across that. Probably get shouted at though. This is mad. Victorian engineering at its best. So that's a lock. That's a lock with a boat in it. And then you've got this, what can only be described as a corner. And then look, another lock. So that's the third lock. And this is how far down it goes. That is a long way down. Behind me there is a load more barges ready to go somewhere when they're legally allowed to. If you don't like walking along the canal, you can cut the corner out like I'm doing, and you can walk through these beautiful traditional woods. I tell they're traditional because they're made of wood, which is a traditional thing that they made woods from. So there's that boat that was in the lock a minute ago. It's now going to go into the third lock. There's like 3 locks in Middlewich. I wonder, they should think of a name for that. So letting the water in to make the water go to the same level as this side of the lock. And it's not making any difference to this weir. I thought it might have done actually. I thought it might have slowed it down a little bit, but no difference whatsoever. Who knew it? They even have roadworks on a canal, but well, canals are the road of the past, I suppose. And this one's a bit of an elephant, this barge. This is the bridge that the road goes over. And it is a beautiful bridge carved out of the finest sandstone which you find locally. It's also home to quite a lot of pigeons as well, which is nice. And there's a mural on this side which is equally well, it's a mural. Enough said. This barge looks like it's a working barge due to the fact it's not got a middle bit. Well, it has got a middle bit, but it's a middle bit. It's like a repair centre because the cabin is just this little bit at the end rather than the whole thing. It's hench as well, from Birmingham. Church has also got this amphitheatre, which is very good. But they stopped using it because you couldn't hear what the actors were saying because of the bloody noise of the traffic. They've got a Tesco Express, but why would you go there when there's a super discount store right next door? It's nice to see that Shorrocks are also keeping a diary at the moment during these troubling times. Sadly, they seem to condone theft around here, which isn't very good. For example, that says Dean's Gate on it. And I know for a fact Dean does not live there. Ergo, it must be stolen. As we saw at the canal, spelling is really bad round here. They can't even spell kindergarten properly. Pfft, never mind. Now that is what you call a proper, well-built, massive old house. It's at least 800 years old, that house. I can tell just by looking at it. I'm that good. Good news. You need the toilet. There's a toilet here. It hasn't got any formal notices on it. Oh, it's got a padlock on it though. What's going on there? Oh, there is a formal notice. So nearest toilets are the other side of town. Crikey, you better tie a knot in it. Didn't notice about this bus shelter is the fact that it's nowhere near the bus stop. The bus stop's all the way over there. How does that work? Someone said I looked 28 the other day. I'll tell you what, I didn't half blush. I like odd architecture like that, which is a bull's head, but it's not called a bull's head. It's not called anything. It's nameless. It's not even a thing anymore. More bad spelling. It's a beautiful building, but they called it the Alamo, but spelt it completely wrong. Someone's not a big fan of the Prince of Bel-Air's daughter. It's a bit unnecessary. But the good news is, look, I found the post office, although it's sadly closed at the moment. People just love to brag, don't they? Apparently, everyone's really well behaved around here, apart from the cleaners. The cleaners are actually a bit wild. That's on the wall. Any similarity to a famous fast food restaurant is purely coincidental. McCarthy and Stone, the building retirement homes. That's nice, isn't it? And it says there, look, find out more today. Yay! Oh, it's closed at the moment. The part of the building site, and there doesn't seem to be a lot going on. I mean, I know it's closed, but I mean, it doesn't look like anything's gone on for a while. It all looks a little bit overgrown and a bit thingy. But look, interestingly, they've got one of them very early helicopters. You remember seeing them on those black and white movies, the one that bounced up and down with like a million, like an umbrella spinning around on top of it. That's it, they've saved it. That's good, isn't it? History. Found a supermarket. Who knew Middlewich had a supermarket? I didn't. And you know what you're thinking? You're thinking, that looks like a Tesco. And it does, because it's got like pictures of fruit and stuff and everything. It looks lovely. But it's not. It's a Jack's, which is part of the Tesco family, to be fair. So when it comes somewhere that's got a church, it's got a canal, it's got locks, it's got buildings, it's got building site, it's got loads of other stuff going on as well. And a bit of history as well. You can do a lot worse than come to Middlewich. So next time, bye! Where shall we go today? Where shall we go? Where do you want to go today? Let's walk round. So as well as a Jack's, which was very much like a Lidl, ironically, they actually have a Lidl, and they also have a Morrison's as well. So they are fully supermarketed up here in Middlewich, which is nice. We've also got this weird roundabout thing as well, which just has loads of junctions like that on it. It's all very peculiar. But it's Middlewich, what do you expect? There is a load more boats. Forgot to mention as well, they're very greedy at this church. It's called St. Michael's and All Angels. So the angels can only come here. That's greedy. Get the idea, someone's not a big fan of one of Mr. Willow, no, what's he called?